Welcome to Atisfit Podcast. This one is the biblical doctrine segment. As usual, we also invite you to watch, like, share, ring the bell for our youth-led podcast called The Steadfast Pursuit. So what happened with the Atisfit Podcast? We have two segments. This segment, which is dealing with biblical doctrines, but also a youth-led segment where we are having discussions on several youth topics. We call it the Steadfast Pursuit. So please keep watching both the podcast. It's an area for growth. This is a place where we demystify these juggernaut biblical and doctrinal truths and put them into bits, smaller bits that can be understood, can be put into practice, can be related to. And we have been going through a very interesting journey in the doctrine of Christ, Christology. And in the last few weeks, we began looking at the humanity of Christ. Then we talked about the divinity of Christ. And today we want to look at how the two come together, what we are calling hypostatic union. So hypostatic union, our guest will tell us what that really means. But maybe before that, she will be introducing herself for those who are meeting her for the first time. When I'm here with you, you intimidate me a lot with your color, but that's okay. I'm now used to. The crew here were having a lot of difficulties in trying to balance my color. So welcome, Brenda, once again. Please introduce yourself fully to us. And tell us where we have come from, because we have been here with you for 2 weeks. So if you can just tell us where we've come from and then hit the nail on the head by telling us what this big English hypostatic union is. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much, Rev, for having me once again. My name is Brenda Mbelenzi and I'm a pastor. And yes, we have been discussing about the human nature of Christ, the divinity nature of Christ. And this is basically the divine nature of Christ is how Christ is fully God. And what that means to us as believers. And we saw that it is very important for us to know that Jesus Christ was fully God, because it is only God who could come and redeem us. So we looked at that, and we also looked at the humanity of Jesus Christ. And the humanity of Jesus Christ is him now being a man just like us. And we also mentioned that Jesus is fully God and fully man. But both these natures have very distinct roles, and they're very important to us as believers. Like, I remember when we were talking about the humanity of Jesus Christ, we said that we can relate with Jesus Christ being man, because he intercedes for us, because he once was here and he experienced everything that we are experiencing in this world. So we can easily relate with Jesus Christ, and he can also feel our pain. So that's very important to us as Christians, that Jesus is our intercessor. And the divine nature is that it is only God who could come. Someone who had no sin had to come and die for us and bridge the gap that sin had formed between us and God. Because after sin, the fall of man, there was a distance between humanity and God. So Jesus had to come and bridge the gap for us. So I think that's what we talked about, the human nature and the divine nature of Jesus Christ. And now when we talk about
Maybe before you get to hypostatic union, I really loved what you said the previous week, saying that it's not the nails that kept Christ on the cross, but the love.
But the love.
The love that kept him on the cross. I think that is the same love that brought him here on earth.
Yes.
And so, I was just reflecting on John chapter 3, verse 16, and thinking of Nicodemus from John chapter 3, verse 1. Nicodemus going to Jesus Christ and asking so many questions. How can I be born again?
Yes.
And Jesus is answering, and then Nicodemus says, how can I go back to my mother's womb to be born again? This thing is not making sense. Then Jesus concludes that wonderful narrative by getting us into verse 16. For God so loved the world. So his love did not only bring about the birth, the incarnation, but from the previous weeks, I'm also learning that his love is what occasioned not only his birth, but his ministry, his life. Not only that, his death, out of love.
Yes.
His love has walked with us. And so when we are talking about divinity and humanity of Christ, really, love is at the center of the theme. I think so.
Yes, love. It is love that made him to come from heaven to this sinful world. I want to believe that it was not comfortable for him now, leaving all the heavenly glory coming down here. And we also see that when he was dying on the cross, it was really painful for him. And he even tells God that this cup is too heavy. If it could be just taken away. But again, he says, not according to my will, but your will. You see, I believe that Jesus did all that for the love that he had for humanity. It was not for anything else. Him going through the humiliation. And you see, the very same people that were humiliating him, he was still carrying their sins to the cross.
I know,
The
right?
same ones that were crucifying him. And you see, he was carrying the cross together with the two thieves. The two thieves were guilty. And so for them, that was justice. But look at Jesus, a man that knew no sin, became sin for our sake. What kind of love is that?
Wow.
Yeah, so it is very encouraging and humbling also to know that Jesus loved us to that extent. And you see, his love is not conditional. His love for us is unconditional. It is not because of our deeds or the things that we do that makes him to love us. He just loves us. Even before we loved him, the Bible says that he still loved us. Yes.
So I think that's powerful. The motive of love in humanity and divinity of Christ is critical.
Yes.
But I also see the motive of justice. Because every single sin that was done needed to have been paid for.
Yes.
And we were supposed to pay for it.
We were to pay for our sins.
Yes.
But Jesus showed us mercy.
Yes.
And took all that for our sake.
Upon himself.
Upon himself. In fact, there's a song that says that, do you remember the nails? Something like that. Every time we sin, do you remember those nails? And I was listening to that song and looking at the graphics of that song. And
do you remember the nails?
Yes, it's called...
I need to write that down so that I can go and listen.
Yes, you need to go and listen and watch it. I think they are using the Passion for Christ movie. Yes, so the singer asks, does Jesus remember the nails every time we sin? And when you look at it, if you will remember the nails every time we sin, aren't we being unfair to Jesus as believers?
Interesting.
Yes.
I'll definitely
look for that song.
Look for that song. And,
yes.
The kind of songs you listen to here in Nairobi is different from the ones we people of the other side look. we have our kind of song. So, but I'll look at this now. Hypostatic union. That is big. What's that?
Yes, hypostatic union. This refers to the two natures of Christ, the human nature and the divine nature in one person. That is Jesus Christ. All through the conversations, we've been saying that Jesus is fully God, Jesus is fully man. But now in the hypostatic union, the two natures are brought together into one person. That Jesus being man does not mean that his divinity nature is deprived. And vice versa. Him being God does not mean that his human nature is deprived. they're all 100%, if I can say that he's 100% God, and he's also 100% man. But these two natures are very different, but they coexist in one person peacefully.
I like the word peacefully. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So they coexist in one person peacefully.
Yes.
And I read something, and because it is a big English, so I wrote it down. Perichoresis.
Mm-hmm.
So, perichoresis. I don't know whether I've even pronounced it right, but this is the concept of is saying that the humanity and divinity of Jesus Christ intermingle. It is actually the intermingling of the two natures of Christ. The two natures of Christ indwell on another without losing its distinctiveness. So, whatever this word is, perichoresis. Perichoresis, or now I'm getting it, is that the two natures mingle. They mingle without affecting their distinctiveness. I think that's what you're saying.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I love the word that you've used.
Yeah.
They mingle.
They mingle.
Yes. The two natures.
I had a problem with that word, but I like the fact that you like it. Huh?
Yes. The two natures mingle together without interfering in the other nature.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That Jesus being man does not affect his divinity in any way.
Mm-hmm.
And also him being divine does not affect his humanity in any way.
So that is what they mean when they say he's 100% man.
And 100% God.
Now that is 200%.
No.
Yeah.
Each nature is 100%.
Uh-huh.
Like
then the operate as 100.
They operate as 100.
Uh-huh.
But that is simply to mean that these natures are fully functional without any depravity of the other. You've
heard the people who are saying he left his divine prerogatives so that he can become man. So what you are saying, not affecting distinctiveness, then it means that statement may not be very right because he did not leave any prerogative.
Yes. It's only that, you see, when Jesus came to this world as a man, his divine nature was not very evident. And I think he did that with the purpose of he wanted to relate with us. So he could not come and still act like a God, even though he was God. He had to put that nature aside for that purpose. But we also see the nature of him being God playing out even in the way he was relating with people. It is the nature of God in him that was able to do those miracles that were done by him, him being man. So we cannot say that statement is
entirely
wrong.
Okay.
Neither is it entirely correct.
Wow.
Because
that's the problem with people who are learned. You start confusing me. It's not entirely wrong, it's not entirely correct. So what is it?
Yes, because when Jesus came, he was man.
Yeah.
And even now that Jesus is in heaven, it is his divine nature that is playing out. But remember, even in heaven, he's also fully man. Yes.
Okay. So that's very interesting. So how is Jesus in heaven now?
Jesus is in heaven as God, the Son.
Is he walking?
No. He's in heaven ruling together with the Father. He's in heaven ruling with God, the Father. And also God, the Holy Spirit. They're functioning as a Trinity in heaven. And we looked at the doctrine of Trinity when we were talking about the divinity of Christ.
Actually, in this podcast, we've had a whole season of talking about Trinity.
Ah, wow.
Yeah, and I want to invite the listeners and those who are watching to go back and also look at our discussions on Trinity. In fact, we even had we had two people. We had a Trinitarian and a Unitarian, and we were in a discussion here. A Trinitarian, the one who believes in Trinity, and a Unitarian, the one who only believes in one God. And it was a wonderful discussion.
I'll look at it.
Yeah, you need to go and look at it.
I'll go and look
that was very interesting.
at it.
So there is also another word. I'm telling you, this hypostatic union has, I read another word. It's called communio idiomantum. Let me repeat again. Communio idiomantum. Now, whatever I've read, only God knows. Let me repeat again. Communication idiomantum. So let me leave the word. Let me say what it means. So it says all the divine and human attributes are communicated fully to the single person. Like all the divine and all the humanity of Christ, they all commune together in one single person. And they all commune at the same rate, at the same percentage. What do you think about that not so easy word to say? I think it's a Latin word, yeah. It's a Latin.
It could be a Latin word. But I agree with that because I think it takes us back to what we were saying, that Jesus is fully God and fully man. Yes, it takes us back to that. And it shows us the two natures of Christ, but being in one person. And that does not, many people tend to say that. Does that mean that now Jesus is divided into two personas? He's not. He's one person with two natures that coexist together. Yes.
So how is this important? How is this helpful for us? So maybe even before that, you can take us through if there is any support, biblical concept. Then just why are we discussing this in this podcast?
Let us look at a verse, then we can continue from there. John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Jesus is God. And I think it is in John 1:14 that says that, and the Word became flesh, that Jesus became flesh. And also in, we can just talk with that verse, that we see the verse supporting that Jesus is God. And we also see another verse supporting that he was also man because he became flesh. And him being God and him being Word coming together is what we are talking about, the hypostatic union. And we don't see anywhere in the Bible his two natures contradicting one another. They are all, the word that you used, they mingle. They mingle together without affecting the other nature. And it is important for us because we know that we can really connect with Jesus Christ in very many aspects. And you see, his hypostatic nature is important to us as believers because when we try and look at his human nature, we can draw some lessons. And when we look at his divine nature, we can also draw some lessons. So it is really important for us as believers to embrace this concept of his hypostatic nature without confusing and saying that these natures can contradict. And in fact, I was reading something to do with the Chalcedon Council and how they were talking about the hypostatic nature. And they say that the two natures of Christ, they are inseparable. They cannot be separated. They are unchangeable. They cannot be changed. They are, there's another thing that they said.
I also remember reading 4 things, but I think it's long.
Yeah, I remember the 2, but we can work with that. That these 2 natures cannot be separated. They both exist in Jesus Christ. And they also, I've remembered another point that there's no division in these 2 natures. Yes, there's no division, but they are distinct. Each of the natures is very distinct, but they don't bring any division.
So no separation, no division,
no confusion. There's no confusion. Yes.
And then there is one more.
And then there's one more
that the listeners can look at. You said it's called the
Chalcedon
Council.
Yes.
They were discussing the
hypostatic union.
Yes.
How the 2 natures of Christ coexist together in one person. Yes.
Well, I think this is very important, because then if we don't have the aspects of hypostatic union, then maybe we will then contend for either one or the other. But then contending for either one or the other misses out on a critical theological truth that can jeopardize our understanding of Christ.
Yes.
And so that is why it is important that we discuss this together. And I like the fact that, they are intermingling, they are communicating together.
Yes.
In one single person without affecting their distinctiveness.
Yes.
So there's still distinctiveness, but again, we also embrace the fact that they are together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you see, without the hypostatic union, we would be in a place where we have to choose. Do we want to view Jesus as a man, or do we want to view him as God? But you see, if that was the case, then we will be confused. Because you see, he has these 2 natures. So there's no way we can separate them. That's why the council said that they cannot be separated. They're in one person. So the hypostatic union shows us the importance of embracing the 2 natures of Christ in one person without having to choose, being put in an awkward position where, as a believer, you have to choose. Who is Jesus and his nature? Are you going with the divine, or are you going with the humanity? We are putting them together because even from the previous conversations we've had, we've seen that him being a man has advantages to us as believers. Him being God also has advantages to us as believers. So we have to embrace the hypostatic union as a whole. Yes.
Thank you very much, Brenda Mbelenzi, for being with us for 3 weeks. That's kind of you. Thank you for being so kind, and thank you for helping us to simplify. One of the things, and I hope when we invite you again, you'll come. One of the things I've loved about your discussions is the way you simplify them, and the way, people can relate to them. Personally, I was just saturated in the discussions, feeling really good about it. And I know that even someone who doesn't have a theological background will follow through and understand this nature of Christ, humanity, divinity, and of course the hypostatic union. I think I'm the only one who brought in difficult words.
Yes.
But the difficult words that I brought were 2. The first one was perichoresis, which is the fact that the 2 active intermingling of 2 natures of Christ, the 2 natures indwell on another without losing its distinctiveness. The other difficult word that I brought, the only 2, I need to confess my difficult words, is communio idiomantum, which says all the divine and human attributes are communicated fully to the single person, Jesus Christ. And I think that is all we've been battling to say here. And your last words, now that you've been here for 3 weeks with us, your last word about the podcast, how you felt, and how these 3 things that you've been discussing with us really means to us.
Okay. Let me first start with concluding about the hypostatic union. It is important for us as believers because the hypostatic union of Jesus Christ shows us about salvation. It paints the bigger picture of salvation, that Jesus had to be man and God for salvation to be possible. Also, we see that Jesus being man also revealed the nature of God here on earth. And he also played the part of a mediator between us and God. So hypostatic union is very important to us as believers, understanding that the two natures of Christ play together peacefully. They mingle together for our sake and for our good. About the podcast, it's been amazing being here for the 3 weeks, and I've loved it. The conversation was very helpful and enlightening. So thank you so much, Dr. for having me. And I'm looking forward to more of these conversations. Thank you.
Thank you. We are also looking forward to host you more. This is At His Feet podcast, the biblical doctrine segment. As usual, we also invite you to follow our youth-led podcast, The Steadfast Pursuit, where you can get several youth topics or youth-related topics. It was a good meeting with you, Mbelenzi, and even having you here, having those conversations. And as we always say, friends, our discussions are not just about head thrill. When we talk about humanity of Christ, we pray and hope that the understanding of humanity of Christ will bring you closer to Christ, the one who identifies with your pain, with your situation, and everything about you. When we talk about divinity of Christ, it is our prayer that we will connect to him so much in his ability, with his divine prerogatives, attending to the affairs of humanity, that him being very God is able to attend to every single thing about us, because he is God. And the beauty of hypostatic union then is to tell us that he is mingling. The two natures mingle without affecting their distinctiveness. And I think that one is a wonderful way to finish it. Yeah. Otherwise, until next time, thank you very much for being part of At His Feet podcast, the biblical doctrine segment. May the Lord bless you, the Lord be with you, and shalom.